always one-sided.
Those people were not my friends.
This is something I wouldn't normally have done. I'd rather have those core people. It's feeling toxic.
Okay. Hi, I'm Kim.
I'm Nicole.
And we are co-founders of EmpowHer Circle.
Yes, and we're here today to introduce our podcast.
And today we're going to dive a little bit deep into your inner circle and redefining that inner circle and why it matters so much. And stay tuned at the end because we're going to do something a little bit fun.
I remember as a child, my mom used to tell me birds of a feather flock together. And I was like, what does that mean? And I think I now realize that, you know, the people and the circle of people you're around influences how you show up in your life.
You know, as I was going through the end of that toxic marriage that I was in my 20s, and I had this circle of friends, and what I realized, like, when I started this up-level journey that I've been on, is that those people were not my friends. They just happened to be the people that were in my orbit, and nothing about them made me excited to be a better person. And since I've gotten in different groups with people that inspire me and, you know, lift me up, that's more of what I want.
Yeah, and I feel like, you know, especially with us starting EmpowHer Circle and being surrounded by high-performing, badass, just smart women, whether they're business owners, they are leaders, they are moms, their wives, sisters, friends, just really powerhouse women.
Yeah.
That those are the women that I want to continue to have in my social circles, the ones that bring love and light and positivity.
Yeah. And it's kind of neat because, like, I feel like I've connected a lot of people, like, through different networks that I've been in. And then now through EmpowHer Circle, like, I was thinking when we did our vision board event, like, the women that were there and how excited they were and how they were sharing with each other. And I was like, you know, some of these people are now, like, a staple in my life. And I didn't even know them before we started EmpowHer Circle.
Right. And now they are genuinely people that we would call friends.
I know.
Like, really good friends. That I'm excited to tell them about new events and new things that we have going on. I was talking with a group of them at Friendsgiving, and we were talking about, like, the seasons of life. And I said, you know, I have friends that I've had friends since I was in grade school. And friends that I've been friends with since high school and maybe since college. And everybody kind of goes through seasons of life, you know, divorce, children, well, maybe not in that order, you know, just different things. And that either you kind of flow and grow together, or sometimes your paths kind of cross in opposite seasons.
Yeah. I've had to find that boundary with people and detach with love, right? It doesn't mean that there's a big thing that happened or whatever, but, like, they're just, you know, you can still have love for them, but, like, I think we just have to get so much more intentional about who gets our time.
Yes.
Right? As we've gotten older, I think we've learned a lot of that, and who we give our time to, right? Who we're investing our time in, and who's also going to reciprocate some of that. I found that I often am a person where people come to me for advice, right? And what was I getting out of it? Not that I'm going into a friendship trying to get something out of it, but, like, there has to be that symbiotic relationship.
Yeah.
Because that's how we grow together and challenge each other and learn.
Right. I think now I feel like I'd rather have 4 quarters than 100 pennies.
Yeah.
I'd rather have those core people by my side that are out for my best interest and vice versa. I think for the people that aren't on that season of life or that path with you, like you said, you wish them well. It's not a terrible breakup but I'm not putting my energy, as you said, into that relationship anymore.
Yeah. I think for me, one of the things I've had to do is, like, I have a friend that I've really kind of struggled with, like, how does that relationship, how has it evolved, and where is it, like, how is it working? And I kind of had to take her out of that inner circle piece and kind of move her out to, like, one layer out. And when I did that, I had a lot of guilt and I had a lot of feelings about it, but it was a nice way to not remove her from my life, but also kind of put intentional boundaries around the friendship, right? And that person and I have become closer again, but in a different way.
Yeah.
And I've also had friends where I had to say, okay, like, I think it's time to let go, right? And it doesn't look like a breakup in the sense of like, hey, I'm breaking up with you, like a relationship, but it is like there's mourning that happens and letting go of someone because you're kind of loving that person that they used to be
from afar
and not who they are. Right?
Yeah. And it's not animosity. It's not ill will.
Right.
It's just, I wish you well in your life and that, we just are kind of at different places. And if our paths cross again, then so be it. But I think it is important for like self-love and for who you are to make sure that I think in a relationship, you can not only always give 100%.
Right.
So if you're able to give me 30%, then I'm able to fulfill that with 70 on my side.
Right.
But then there's times that I can't give that. And I'm down and I need you reciprocally to do that.
Yep.
And I think that is the measure of a good relationship. When it's always one-sided, and that's relationships as a whole. Mm-hmm. If it's always one-sided, it's not going to work. You're going to drain yourself. You're going to just be exhausted in the process.
Mm-hmm.
So I think part of finding the right circle for you is, surrounding yourself with either like-minded women or a woman that you want to be. Mm-hmm. Someone you want to become.
Yes.
I think, by being in those inner circles with those women, you'll either teach them and, have so much in common from that or learn from them and grow into their space.
I feel like we've seen that with the events that we've done so far for EmpowHer Circle. Like a lot of them, there's been people that come alone, but there's also been people that come in their own little circle, whether it's like two people coming together, they have that safety and comfort, and then they meet another circle and they're like, oh wow, these people are cool. Like, mm-hmm. And then it kind of grows and grows and grows. Mm-hmm. And so like, that's what I've seen from like our launch party. And also just noticing that even people were like, oh my gosh, I didn't know I knew you. I've seen you before, cause it's a small world. Right. And seeing that and noticing that, and then people being open to like open up their circle a little bit more. And then within, we have this big circle, but there's all these circles within. Mm-hmm. So it's like so many opportunities for people to learn and grow and kind of emulate each other. And there's so much admiration that I've seen. Mm-hmm. And I think, we are a little bit more seasoned than some of our members too, right? So finding that mentorship and like knowing that we also can learn from some of these younger girls that have a lot to share and add value to us as well.
Yeah, and by season.
Nichol and I have actually talked a lot about what kind of women we are trying to attract. And we are like, I think collaboration over competition was kind of our key thing. A lot of women that we know are in fields where they are in the service-based industry, right? Us included, but probably in a different way than like a hairstylist or such. And there's just no room for the hate. There's no room for not sharing. So we want people that are open. And we actually started thinking about like, oh, we want leaders and entrepreneurs. But as we've kind of gotten through it, we realized we want any woman that wants to learn and grow and have connection and community.
And be empowered.
Mm-hmm.
I think, we talked about initially with having the membership process and having an interview process. I think that just compounds how important it is to us to have the right type of woman in the group.
Yep.
We don't want toxic behavior. We don't want cattiness. We don't want we don't want women that don't want to collaborate, connect in the sense of community and share and not have that scarcity mindset.
Correct. Yeah.
I think finding something that you like to do, whether it's reading and finding a book club or finding an event that piques your interest. I also think it's going outside of your comfort zone.
Always.
Right? Because a lot of our events, and we've heard that a lot, like we just had a wonderful vision board workshop of manifesting your vision that Kim, you put on, and absolutely amazing. And the women there were like, this is something I wouldn't normally have done.
We hear that. I think you're right. We hear that a lot. And if it feels safer for you, like allow yourself to pick one friend and go together, right? But don't go in a big gaggle because it's going to hinder your ability to like open up and meet other people. Mm-hmm. And if you're going to the right kind of event with people that are, you know, maybe it's a crafting event, something that you love to do, but you'll have like-minded people there, right? Just by default. So then from there, you can kind of filter and decide, and then just celebrate that and take another step in that.
One thing that I feel like is an amazing story in our testament on how we want to grow organically. Another women's group approached us about purchasing their large, very, very large following for a women's group. And after a lot of thought, Kim and I, you know, it was like, okay, this would be great. We'd have, you know, additional 1,000 followers and we'd increase our membership. But then we took a step back and said, you know, this isn't organic growth. We want the people that started with us to grow with us and really be a part of this. We didn't want to inherit someone else's problems or you know, bad habits or cattiness or anything within the group. We wanted it to be organically with us.
Yeah, we wanted people that would be like-minded with us and that were interested in supporting and collaborating each other.
So I think that's a testament to us really wanting this to grow with the
kind of women, the caliber of women, whether they're, you know, whatever their age, but the caliber of women are really amazing. They are genuine, they are kind, they actually care about each other. And that really was like kind of we're not inheriting a group where maybe there's some people in there that aren't that way, right? So we really wanted to be true to the people who signed up and said, I want to help grow this. And bring my friends in and bring my voice in, because it's not just about what we want.
Right.
The more people we talked to, the more they said, I want a group like that. And we were just brave enough to start it. So we're going to introduce something new called the EmpowHer Circle of Questions, where Nichol and I are going to rapid fire ask each other questions based on a topic, and we are going to answer them on the fly. This is going to be something we do at the end of each podcast, and eventually we'll probably ask you guys for some topics too, so you guys can join in and see how our answers evolve. Okay. I'll start. Rapid fire. So how do you know when it's time to cut ties with a friend?
Finding out that there's toxicity in it and that I'm not feeling great about the relationship. It's feeling toxic.
Okay.
What is something that's taken you out of your comfort level within our group and like new?
Yeah. So I think the Vision Board Workshop was kind of the first event that was really Krista and I as our life coaches in collaboration with EmpowHer Circle. And it was my first time doing the work of the neuroidentity evolution that I'm certified in now. And I felt amazing and I felt wonderful because it's in relation to all this stuff, but it felt really cool to do that, and it felt easy and it felt fun, but it was definitely out of my comfort zone. Okay. What's your favorite connection that you've made so far? Doesn't have to be a person, but what's the favorite connection moment that you've had maybe through our EmpowHer Circle?
You know, honestly, my favorite connection would be with, we had two brand new women come to the group and come and tell us that they had heard from us by word of mouth. She didn't know me, she didn't know you, and came to our first event and then decided from that she was going to start her own business. Yeah. She felt empowered. She met amazing women and inspired them both to start a business.
I think I know who you're talking about.
And what is something that you haven't done yet that you want to try in terms of like EmpowHer Circle and bringing connection?
Definitely, I want to eventually have a retreat where we all go somewhere that is like tropical and fun, and we get to highlight all of our members are going to be the people that are giving service in that, right? So we're going to have our members come, but we're also going to have people that have these beautiful gifts and have a chance to highlight them.
I love that.
Yes, that's on my vision.
That. That's great.
What's been the most challenging thing about starting this group?
I think balance. You know, you and I both have day jobs, and you know, we still need to do those for money. So I think, you know, finding the work-life balance, which we talk about and preach about in the group. You know, we are wives, we are mothers, we are full-time executives. So just finding that balance. But I do know that doing this is what gives me life and purpose. What's an important lesson you've learned from someone you've met at EmpowHer Circle?
So Krista Randolph and I, a really important lesson was to see in action collaboration over competition, right? Because we met to collaborate on the event for Friendsgiving. Mm-hmm. And when we first met, she showed up in a way that I was like, oh my gosh, I was a little intimidated because she shows up so beautifully on socials and she does all these things. And when we actually met and talked, we were like, oh my God, we have so many things in common. And she's like, I love how you do this. And it just was a great lesson to be like, we're always looking for like, what are we not, right? When we see something in someone else, but they may see something in you. And then we got to collaborate on the Friendsgiving. And then through that conversation is how the vision board thing came up. So like, be open to knowing that you're enough, right? And someone else can be just as like amazing in certain ways, but they see you one way. So just kind of opening your mind to like knowing your worth, right?
Yes, I love that. Thanks for watching. We'll be back once a week to bring this goodness to you. Please comment and let us know what you want to hear from us.